of this particular particle beam accelerator.
Okay.
But it all boils down to let us go back to the time of Jimmy Carter in the White House. And do you know why Jimmy Carter was put in the White House by the powers that be? Let me tell you. It is because
they liked peanut butter. I don't know.
It is because. Good guess. It is because of his degree, his college degree, his education. Do you know what his degree was in?
Honestly, I do not.
Well, see, Jimmy Carter was sold to the American public as a peanut farmer. With a degree in nuclear physics. But how many Americans ever knew that Jimmy Carter's degree was in nuclear physics?
I didn't know that. I mean, I knew he was a pretty smart guy. Certainly smarter than who we have now. Certainly smarter than the guy that beat him in 1980.
Well,
though maybe not as charismatic.
But isn't that strange that a man with a degree in nuclear physics could run for president, and Americans at large know him as a peanut farmer, not as a nuclear physicist. He's a Navy man, military man. So good, strong military background, understanding of military stuff, and a degree in nuclear physics. They needed someone in an executive position that had a firm understanding of nuclear physics, because they had been working on projects and had been actually wasting. It's easy for Congress to waste a lot of money on scientific things because they don't understand scientific principles. So when they have a really big project, they need someone with some really good understanding of basic physics principles on the subject. You see what I mean?
I would like to take a brief aside to say I do think we need more scientists
in Congress and
yes.
Oh,
yes.
Absolutely. And the
more scientists, less lawyers.
All right.
Anyway.
I should say that we should get rid of the lawyers entirely. I think we've had all lawyers for too long.
Well, I say keep one or two around just to read the documents and make sense of the legalese, but no more than that.
We can hire that. They can be hired.
You've got a point there.
They can. And if there's some water left over, put it into the big jug, if you would, please. Now,
okay.
And we'll look forward to the pretty picture tea, which also made some pretty bold claims there, didn't it? So here's the situation. So Jimmy Carter was a fine man for the choice. There was a project for a particle beam accelerator. The first stage of the accelerator was actually stolen from the Russians. We stole it from the Russians. We had a version that was first stage that was twice the size of this room. They had created a tabletop version of the same stage. So
good for them.
We took their first stage, and then we built the rest of the thing. Now, as far as the shape and the size of the particle beam accelerator, if you will look at the space shuttle as it originally launched, the shape and the size of the cargo bay on the space shuttle, it was designed around the particle beam accelerator. Okay.
So, can I assume it's your theory that there's already one in orbit?
That's a real good guess. Yeah. We're getting there.
Okay.
We are getting
All right.
there.
We're getting hot.
We're getting there. All right. Jimmy Carter, however, apparently refused to launch the thing. Okay. So he's out of there. Ronald Reagan is.
Yeah, we know Reagan has no problem launching some death rays.
Is in there, and as soon as he's in office, one of the first things he does is launch that sucker. It is up there. Okay, before it is up there, it is in orbit. Before any of us have ever even heard the phrase Star Wars projects. All right, that thing's orbiting. Okay, so we got that. All right. When it went up, the the CIA and everybody said that it was going up empty. It was a test, and it went up empty. Okay, I saw the launch. I was living in Florida at the time. I saw the launch. It moved, I forget how far horizontally across the pad before it ever, if it had been empty, it would have gone up like a bottle rocket, you know, but myself and a whole bunch of other people didn't think it was going to get off the pad. It started walking horizontally across the pad, thinking about whether it could get off or not. And
so the shuttle was much heavier than it should have been if it was empty. Is what you're trying to say?
It was loaded to the specifications that it was designed for. It was loaded to the load it was supposed to take up. It achieved its mission with its first launch when it went up empty. They've not been able to use that pad since because it did so much damage trying to get off.
Wow. And
that's one of the few pads they just closed it down after that launch, and they said too much damage, can't ever use that one again.
So you're talking about the very first shuttle launch?
First shuttle launch soon after Ronald Reagan got in orbit, in office. Okay, now understand.
I was a wee kid, and I was so excited about that, I got up to watch that on TV.
All right.
I actually watched the first few shuttle launches on TV back when it was such a big deal. They put it on TV.
I think they should put every launch on TV. I think there should be a channel called, I think NASA should have their own channel. The things that NASA could put on. They put videos together and stuff for their own use and all kinds of stuff. There should just be the NASA channel. That would be great. And it would be, and that could help them in fundraising too. You know, I think it'd be great. So right now, here's a plug. Let's have the NASA channel. No excuse for not having the NASA channel. Everybody needs to know everything that's going on at NASA. But I have the notion that there are some, probably political figures, that don't really care for us to know everything that's going on in NASA. Now, once you've got a particle beam accelerator in orbit, you've got a particle beam accelerator in orbit. But steering the thing,
that doesn't necessarily guarantee you can aim it very well.
Or aiming the thing or something like that is a whole nother thing. That's when we started hearing about Star Wars. Okay, because a whole system had to be put up to work with it. That we get the benefits of the global positioning thing. You see what I mean? But can't you see how infinitely useful that could be to something in space?
Oh yeah.
See, particularly if you wanted some kind of an item in space that could sort of rain fire down out of the sky and like draw a line on, or put a dot, like if you had a globe and you had a pencil and you wanted to put a dot there or something, you know. So there's always that to be remembered, and I just thought it was time to share that. It's I believe that the government now admits that the first space shuttle did not go up empty, but they just say it took up, I think they say secret CIA stuff or something, but secret, they took up secret stuff. They now admit that it went up, it took up secret stuff. Now, I've known about this basically since the year it launched. And so this is probably the time when I'm supposed to say the views and opinions voiced on this show are those held by them voicing them, held by the people voicing those opinions, and so. Hey, come in.
How's it going?
Pull up a chair.
All right. Hey, Scott.
How you doing? I'm Matt.
I'm Randy.
Nice to meet you.
Cool. How are you doing?
Can we make you drink tea or not?
No.
Okay. All right.
Stopped in there for a minute to
That's
say hey.
good. I was just telling the world about a giant particle beam accelerator in orbit.
Part of SDI, right?
SDI is
Strategic Defense Initiative.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Exactly. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sounds plausible.
Yeah. You like my dark glasses?
I
Yeah.
guess. I mean,
Are my eyes dilated?
a little bit.
Okay.
Are the glasses helping that?
I think so.
Okay. More power to it.
I guess.
Cool.
And look what we can do this. Wait a minute. You're not even on screen yet.
Oh, good.
Check it out. Dun,
There
dun,
we
dun,
go.
dun. There you are.
Oh,
This
okay.
is Randy.
Yay.
This is Randy Freeman. There. What? Did it come off?
A little bit there.
Okay. All right. Oh, let me here. Now let's see what we're doing with this.
Oh, this one.
Is that one off?
A little bit. There we go.
All right. Now let's see. Okay. Now you two talk to each other.
So how you doing, Randy? What brings you here today?
Oh, doing well. Just came in to see John shortly.
Excellent, excellent.
That's about all. You know, how have you been?
I've been well. Been awake for about 13 hours now, but that's kind of par for the course sometimes. That's
13
okay.
hours? Yeah.
He often comes in somewhat sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It happens sometimes.
Understand.
It's a matter of working at 5 in the morning and
Oh, yeah, that'll kill you.
yeah. Now who's going to bed at a reasonable hour.
Well, the fun doesn't start till late, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I got that one on a figure 8. We're experimenting with microphones.
Oh, okay.
If you can imagine that.
I cannot even fathom such a thing here, experimenting with microphones.
Right. What kind of stuff have you been up to? I've not seen you in a.
Just took a
Wow.
vacation for a few days, went to the lake at a friend's house. That was really nice for 4th of July. Wonderful 4th of July. We just spent yesterday kind of chilling out. What about you? How was your trip to the coast?
It was okay.
Yeah, did you get to see some friends?
I visited my mother,
Okay, well that's good.
Uh-huh.
Family,
and
friends.
and
kind of the same category.
and survived it, and
Hey, any chance anytime you survive a trip, visiting mom and dad, that's
Mhm.
great.
and you can come anytime you would care to. If you want to be a cameraman,
Uh-huh.
you may notice that all we've got is this.
The Zoom function.
Yeah, we have Zoom, and
That's pretty good.
that's it for right now.
How's your recorder been working with the exterior drive put in?
I think it works pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, as long as it's working.
I find it to be pretty reliable. It has upon occasion done a few tricky things, but then I've put some very questionable discs through it. So,
Well, I ended up scoring a CD recorder from the Goodwill and thought, all right, a great score, but got it home and found out it really wouldn't work the recorder just wouldn't work. I went online and found out that exact model had obviously a lot of problems, that you have to get really old, outdated discs are the only ones that'll record with.
CD recorder,
CD recorder, a Philips CD recorder.
and you just can't get
You can't get the medium to work.
You can't use music CDs, audio CDs.
Yeah, just regular audio, or actually anything but like according to online, just a small portion of like TDK and some Philips, specifically 74.
I'm using Philips DVDs now.
Under 16x CDs are the only ones
Uh-huh.
that'll work. If they're any faster than that, they won't.
Well, I'm
work.
using 1 to 16x Philips DVDs.
Is that a
that-
Philips machine?
No.
Oh, but those are the most successful ones.
Yeah, those will work in this. You get somebody else's 16x and it won't work.
Right. I didn't realize they were so picky about what kind of medium that you use.
I've got discs that'll probably work in your machine.
Well, I took it back.
Oh.
I just got it the other day, and if it's going to be that, painful. then
Oh
it's-
well, I always stock up on those because of burning. I like to burn DVDs in real time
Oh, I understand.
for
yeah.
masters. You know.
And I can actually do that with a DVD recorder, but it's nice to have a CD recorder around, as you well know.
And that's what I meant. CD.
Yeah.
You know, I have a CD recorder.
Yeah, I know. That's,
And I have to use compatible CD.
have you had a chance to go on the web and see the Eliza Lynn video we shot?
No, is it on?
Yeah, you should go on and check it out. Go to Studio South TV.
You've looked at it?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, I did. I was having a hard time telling. I think they mixed the tracks I did, instead of the mix tracks, but I'm not sure.
I would hope so,
I
actually.
would hope so too. I mean, I'm thinking that would have been a lot cleaner. But anyway, it's there.
I mean, I tried to put an acceptable track together, but
nothing like clean signal.
there's nothing like being able to go back and
Yeah.
tweak.
Master it.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, whatever's.
Whatever worked for it.
But you've not received a copy of it yet, or compensation.
Oh, that's all in the works. That's the big thing. I think.
Since you're on live TV, why don't you tell the viewing audience where they could go to see the
Yeah.
Liza Lynn video?
Studio South TV
Mhm.
on the Express portion of the page, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, so it's studiosouthtv.com.
Studiosouth.tv, I believe.
Studiosouth.tv. Okay.
www.studiosouth.tv. Right. I believe
Okay.
that's correct.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. I could go get my laptop
No, don't go through that much trouble.
out of the.
Did you ever figure out what it was that you were supposed to talk to me about?
No, but I had something. I mean, I was really wanting to get up with you on something.
How did the water cooler work on the roof?
Oh, I didn't do it yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I've been out of town.
Yeah, you have been gone.
So
Did you record any interesting bands or such while during the interim?
No.
Did the Jolly Rouge gig ever happen?
It happened. I didn't go. When I got back, they said they told me it had been a big fiasco.
Oh yeah.
A total washout fiasco thing.
Oh, that would have been good to
What
get on
Jolly
video.
Rouge gig would this be?
Well, that might have been fun to video.
That's what I
It
mean.
might-
That
it might-
would be hard
yeah.
to beat
Oh,
that
they
for
said
video.
they said to begin with there was a wedding scheduled in there, until when they were supposed to start playing, but that gave them zero setup time. And
They're
Who
not
was this
playing-
that was playing?
this is Veterans of Future Wars, and Veterans of Future Wars say expect technical difficulty. That's part of the show,
Okay.
and so they have lots of wires and stuff. I mean they get hung up on wires. You'll see somebody playing something and some like wire is stretched as tight as it can be or something, and it's just, it's a wonder they don't hang themselves on their own wires or trip and fall and hurt themselves sometimes.
That would be tragic.
Yeah, and it's probably happened anyway. So they told me that they had the show, and that somewhere early on, to begin with, Nate the vocalist. I saw the vocalist a day before the show, and he was talking like this, and he had laryngitis, and he was trying to be quiet and not talk, but it wasn't working. And then, through all the mayhem and all from the beginning of the thing, apparently Nate flipped out and decided he wasn't doing it. While the rest of them were still trying to set up things, and then came the call from the guy with the PA system, who said there wouldn't be one because something like
Future's riddled with technological
he could only find one speaker or something. I don't know. It's like he had said, I'll do the PA, but like on the night of the gig, like maybe an hour before the gig, he's going like, I can't find the PA system, all of it. I mean, like, it was in Jack's garage or something. Who knows, And, right, so that was going like that. And so then they had to run over to Nate's house and get a hodgepodge of fairly
PA, more or less.
fairly tough stereo speakers,
Okay.
like maybe 4 different stereo speakers or something like that, and try daisy chaining this bunch of stuff together in some configuration, and then ran out of enough patch cords and wires to accomplish it all, and had to call the sound man from the bar down the street and beg a handful
Patch cords.
of cables and stuff off of him, So anyway, apparently the gig was like an hour and a half late getting started, which for some reason the crowd was intolerant of like, are you guys ever gonna play or not, you know? And so
Well, you know, it's that leftover wedding crowd. You know, they were.
so you know, anyway, so I was told that it was just a wash, just a fiasco of
Intolerance.
yeah, I think they played a few tunes, maybe a very few, and I don't know. It was just the evening of utter frustration. But you
really good to video.
if we'd had a whole camera crew, so that we like
you
one
can't
cam
make up
so
stuff
so
like that
so
to
that one camera could have like run down the street following the guy who was going to get the patch cords and you know, and promising his firstborn if I don't bring them back before 2:00, and you know, it's like 1:30 and he's got to have the patch cables back by 2, you know. And you know, all right.
Make stuff
We're gonna have them on Mount Dungeon too.
Huh?
They're gonna be on Mount Dungeon.
Are they scheduled?
Yes.
You'll enjoy them. They're great. They're
Excellent. I
great. They're
look
great. I
forward.
wish I had some stuff to play you, and I don't, and so I need to get some of that in my collection here. But I mean, it's somewhere, but I just need to have them burn me some new stuff.
Okay.
And
Have you seen Mount Dungeon yet?
Can't say that I have.
that's just
Thursdays at 11 p.m.
Okay.
It's a
Hey,
music show that I
Moss.
host.
Hey. All
I
right.
have a different band in there every
just-
week.
all right.
Somebody brought a guitar. Great.
I just turn on the TV at 4, and there's John looking all lonesome.
Moss, how long would it take you to catch your breath and feel like doing a tune? How long would it take you to burst
Not
into song?
long. How much bursting do you want?
Well, I'm hoping that you'll at least play a song before. I'm afraid that Randy. This is Randy, by the
that is
way, and I'm
Randy.
afraid that Randy's going to get up and run pretty soon. He's sometime hard to pin down.
Let me.
You're right.
And I definitely want him to hear a song or two
Well,
from you before. Moss is somebody
any
who.
preferences?
Well,
You haven't really been
I'll-
listening to my stuff for a while. So.
I'll leave it open. I mean, I could pick up some stuff from the past. I could choose something that you did the last time, you know.
Yeah.
But you know
I brought my whole book this time.
Randy's a songwriter, and I've actually invited another songwriter, Gary McCracken. You know.
He's not in Charlotte anymore.
Huh? No, he's back up here, and I've invited him to come in tonight and play us a tune. So is that your book of original?
No, the
songs?
flags are originals though.
Okay,
For
the
those of you
flags
in
are
the
original
Audience
tunes.
there's some flags.
Okay.
Now, that
That's-
is to say, the flags are at least original lyrics. In many cases, the tune is stolen.
Yeah, I know.
Well, as in all music, I guess.
Well, yeah. I'm hearing.
I guess you just put your phone on vibrate.
Yeah, it vibrates a couple times and then it rings.
You know what? There are
No.
people in here now, and the action is picking up, and there are a few phone calls that I did not make sooner that I am going to go make now, and I will
Okay.
return.
But you can't get out.
You'd be amazed at how clever and resourceful I can be if necessary.
Well, you could at least finish your tea.
Listen to a tune. Come on.
Are you trying to get out of here? And
No, I'm coming back. It's just
But the phones
I've
have
been-
started.
Yeah, the phones have started.
That's saying I have a message. All I have to do is flip
been
it.
meaning to make a couple phone calls, and I was going to go make them once the action picked up again. And yeah, people come,
I
people
understand.
go.
What action?
You're
I'm-
the action.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I do recall that the one about the shallow end was a big hit.
Shallow End.
That was
last
very
time.
entertaining.
But you've been doing that for a good while, haven't
I've
you?
been doing that for a long time. Let me change classes here. You can't get past me. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to wait until you.
You may have
let
to-
me stand up and let me out.
You may have to crawl under the table,
Yeah, there's under the table.
Mr. Resourceful. I'll let you out over here. Do you want to come
I'm
out?
going over the table if I have to.
No, I'll let you out over here.
All right. You don't want to.
Oh, you're gonna make- Moss, get up.
All right.
Thank you, boss. Okay.
Well,
I shall return.
Let's see how we're doing on our.
Well, let's see.
It doesn't sound too bad. Here.
No, this mic picks me up just fine. I've listened on TV. This mic picks up everything. You've been moving it all over the place, and
Right there just does fine.
right there does it. Y'all can hear me, right? Say something. I heard that. Well, I went to buy computers and they said $1 million for a brand new mainframe IBM. Now that price really sucks. So I looked at all the pictures and I chose to build my own. For you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Amdolnek and NCR, they don't know anything. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. Now take the CPU, you see it's only just a box with blinking lights and whirring fans and lots of cable slots. So I spent an evening working with some wires and bulbs and pins. Then I hauled it to the basement and I plugged the freezer in. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Amdolnek and NCR, they don't know anything. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. That's a sing-along chorus, by the way. If you don't know all the computer company names, you can just say apple, 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 watermelon, 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 watermelon. That's a little harder to do. Well, next I needed tape drives. My tape drives were a steal. I climbed into the attic for my dad's old reel-to-reel. I had some cable and some binder twine, and soon it was complete. My CPU and tape drives at a price no one could beat. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Amdolnek and NCR, they don't know anything. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. So then I looked for disk drives, but it didn't take me long. Function follows form, they say, or have I got that wrong? I found a drive with 5 new modes that blows the rest away. Cottons, linens, wash and wear, rinse and lingerie. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Amdolnek and NCR, they don't know anything. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. I had to have a console just to make my system run. And without a fancy console, then my system wasn't done. So I tied a $10 typer to a broken TV tube. And now I've got a console that can write the evening news. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Come on. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. I've had my system running. I'll admit it's not the best. The data isn't right, and the response time is a mess. It crashes every hour, and it isn't worth a damn. But I'm satisfied because it runs just like an IBM. Oh, IBM, DEC, and Honeywell, HP, DG, and Wang. Amdolnek and NCR, they don't know anything. They make big bucks for systems, so they never wanted known that you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home. Yes, you can build a mainframe from the things you find at home.
That's great.
All right, excellent. Now, see, we have a major talent here that I have known for years, and we've talked about it for years, and we've never put an album together, but he's got the material. He's got it. Yeah, he's been ready to go since the first time I ever saw him. He's been he could just pour out. But I like the crazy ones the best. Not that the other ones are bad.
Some people like the crazy ones better. Some people like the romantic ones or the thoughtful ones or whatever. I like doing them all. I like having all my emotions out.
I understand. But I'm just a crazy sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just impressed that you got it all written down. Let's look.
I know.
Well, people always look at the book and they go, well, you don't have any music written down. I'm going, no, I know the music.
Yeah, he
It's the words that are hard to keep
I
track
really
of.
don't have memory for that many lyrics. Some of these I do have memorized, but some of them I wouldn't know it until I started playing.
Right, I understand
And
completely.
if I can't remember the first line, then I'm really...
Right, you're
Yeah.
sunk. Yeah, but it's funny how when you remember the first line, everything follows right after, isn't it?
Usually, sometimes you have to start over on the second verse, though.
That's true, but
This is not my main guitar, it's just the light one.
easy one to carry.
Yeah.
I understand.
She tells him she thinks she needs to be free. He tells her he doesn't understand. She takes his hand. She tells him nothing's working out the way they planned. She's so many women. He can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half her heart. He can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. Then he agrees, he thinks she needs to be free. Then she says she'd rather be with him, but it's just a whim. I wish she hopes to keep him on the limb. She's so many women. He can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half her heart. He can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. She's so many women. He can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half her heart. He can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. He tells her to hasten down the wind.
Nice, very nice.
That was a Warren Zevon number. I've got a lot of Zevon in here. People only remember.
He's a great writer. He did so
yeah.
much stuff and so little.
All
of it.
anyone remembers is the Werewolves of London,
Werewolves of London.
and if you're lucky, they remember Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Lawyers, and maybe didn't he do Tumbling Dice originally?
I don't know Tumbling Dice. He
The
wrote
Ronstadt song?
he wrote
Tumbling
Ronstadt's
Dice. Tumbling.
Poor Pitiful Me.
Yeah, no, that's the one. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, because yeah, just the song structure is very Zevonish. If
Yeah.
you really look at it.
Well, I love Zevon. He writes some great stuff, and that people don't do. For one thing, some of them are just too crazy for anyone else to do, except for me. No one's listening anyhow, so I can get away with anything.
You never really know.
Well, when I say Lawyers, Guns, and Money, I always hear someone go, "Oh, didn't Meat Loaf do that one?" Hell no.
No, definitely Warren Zevon. That was one of his great tunes.
That one sounds better on my 12, so I won't play it. Here's one I wrote that I keep getting requests for, and usually it rips my voice up to do it.
Does it? Oh, so do it
since my
early
voice
on.
is halfway ripped up already.
Go ahead and finish it off.
Haven't done it on this guitar. Gotta get this ring off. Last night the last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. Wolf's soul was born for freedom, though her body did despair. When it tasted the pollution in the water, in the air, and she dreamed, spoke, I must die now, but this foulness cannot stand. I will pass my howling spirit and my earth love to a man. Last night, the last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. After dreams of green deep forests, in the morning I awoke. I opened amber yellow eyes on landscapes blurred by smoke, and my heart was filled with howling. In the snarl my lips were curled as I woke up to the ruin that we've caused upon this world. Last night, the last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. We are piling up the garbage higher than the highest mount, while we keep on spending billions to improve the body count. We are losing children daily, dead from hunger and disease, with a billion homeless people huddling from the winter's freeze. Last night, the last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. We are cutting down the forests that produce the very air. We have reached the point that there is no fresh water anywhere, and the wasted heat that we pump out will make the world too warm. And I howl to see that people still don't realize the harm. The last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. The people must become aware of what it costs to live. Although our world's worth dying for, it's not worth dying with. And if we don't change our future, starting with this very day, you will make a barren planet. There'll be no one left to pay. Last night, the last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. You say you serve the people, and you do the people's will, as you serve your own best interests and you sit upon your kill. You best heed my howling, and you'd better know your ground, or you'll find me on your body, and your body won't be found. The last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced in, she was fettered. She was anything but free. But the spirit of that last wolf lives in me. How many wolves are dying as we watch the earth re-rate? How many humans howling as we tear through your red tape? You should guard your pets and lovers as we shall reclaim the earth if we must plant it with your bow. The last wolf died, and she didn't go down easy. She committed suicide. She was fenced and she was fettered. She was anything but free. The spirit of that last wolf lives in me. I'm sure that overrode the VU meters quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I was having fun with that one.
I'm sure.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, what do you think? He does good, doesn't he, Randy? Yeah. Yeah, we need.
My perception of my problem as a singer-songwriter is that I am too emotionally involved in all my songs, and I like it that way. The problem with that being that one performance does not mimic another.
I didn't think that's a good thing.
Well, it can be a good thing, but when you're a professional musician and you're up there doing the same set every night, I just can't do that. When I have time to do a set, I grab about 6 or 8 songs for time to do 3 or 4, and I do one and I say, okay, now which one do I feel like next?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. Look at the main problem famous performers has is getting burned out.
Burn
on
out.
stuff. So
Right.
as long as you keep that attitude, you're most likely to
Well,
avoid that.
I get burned out from not getting enough places to play.
Mm-hmm.
I basically go home and say, well, hell, can't do nothing. Almost said another word. I stopped
Don't.
myself.
We'll have to shut we'll have to shut the show down. That's what I found out now. Is if people,
Oh, really?
if people say the wrong word, then we have to do a little disclaimer and.
Do we have to run outside like a fire drill, evacuate the building, or anything like that? Or?
No, but we go to the community bulletin board. So we don't want to do that while Moss still has more songs. Do we?
I've never done that on this nylon string. It seems to have held up okay.